Welcome, Fosco. Yeah, doesn't it though? When you bring that up, it reminds me there was a place here locally called Laser Quest. That was the good one. We had Stratum Laser Tag 2, both Gonzo, one earlier and one was a victim of the pandemic. But yeah, this is like, you feel the smoke and like the pounding bass. You know, Marshall, you know, if your equipment malfunctions. But, you know, here we are in the green room listening to White Bad Audio. A few more minutes to go, but make yourself comfortable, Fosco. We'll be going in just a few moments. You know, speaking of laser shows, long time ago, I was invited on a date to a Pink Floyd laser light show. And there was, at the time, it was called the Cricket Pavilion, back when the Cricket Wireless was whatever, the benefactor. And, you know, whatever. It was just a recording of the Wall album with some lasers and some cuts from The Wizard of Oz. I was unimpressed. Not a great date. Listen, Fosco, I wasn't about to throw shade, but, you know, not for nothing. I didn't even get an old handy J at the end. So I was like, yeah, on top of it being your idea to go to that show, I wasn't a Pink Floyd fan, nor was I a Laser Light fan. But you know what? I bet the bullet. We are getting, almost forgot the last thing that always no shit. Well, can't help that now, so whatever. We'll worry about it in the fullness of time, people. We're almost out of the green room here. Please bear with me. White Bad Audio, of course, once again, but you're about to hear the usual stuff, so we'll see you right after this.
Dog. Cat. Mouse. Turtle.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
And welcome to the show. My name is Dave. This is FFOP Radio. It's Wednesday, so we've got some commercials for you. If you're in the Discord, I may have hinted about a surprise. If you read the description, it was probably spoiled for you already. However, I pulled the batteries out of that because they were chargeable, and they didn't go back in. They're sitting on the desk uncharged. But, we haven't played trivia in a while, so maybe we'll whip that out tonight in addition to some other things. But the special surprise, I guess I have I've been sitting on this for a while because I'm like, when should I start pulling at the Halloween stuff? And now's as good a time as any. So I've got some Halloween commercials for you. Classic 90s. About a half an hour's worth. Whatever. It's going to be good times all around. I was sort of trying to preload to see what I was going to see a double barrel of first. And we're going to see a lot of, these are Halloween, obviously. So there's going to be a lot of
McDonald's.
No, like on top of that, like this was a very heavy year for like Halloween or horror video games because I was seeing like Splatterhouse and a bunch of other stuff for the Genesis, but whatever. Moral of the story is, let's get that pulled up. You're also going to see, something happened. Oh, that was weird. Anyway, so you can see it right there. We're about to see the Friday night movie here on NBC. Turn this back up. And let's buckle up, people, because Halloween's my favorite time of the year.
6 more months.
Only.
It's Halloween, the night he came home, when the deepest fears are
I've always got Halloween stuff up in the studio, though. Like, from that way, that wall this way is all Halloween. You got to keep the spirit alive all year.
First time on TV, the modern horror classic from John Carpenter. Parental discretion advised. This film contains elements of shock and suspense.
Shock and suspense.
Be watching it alone.
You think I'm mad, don't you?
And to think he would be ended by a teenager in the sewers.
Who?
I'm just reading what Fosco said.
Oh, we're seeing the slideshow there. I thought you were saying that of your own accord. I was like, what are you talking about?
No.
It's an odd reference for you to make.
Nope.
Comes a new tale.
Full Moon, yeah, classic.
Now,
Is this Puppetmation?
Cujo.
Oh.
Directed by Louis T.
Cujo.
Rated R. Now playing. Check
I've never seen that.
Theater near you.
A lot of Stephen King's movies are pass. So
I do enjoy an evening with a little light entertainment.
I miss Vincent Price.
Kids get dirty, you lose your picture. Not a pretty sight. Happily, this new Polaroid video cassette
Thank God
will
for
help.
Polaroid video.
It actually cleans your heads as it plays, so dirty heads needn't haunt you. New Polaroid video cassettes.
So real quick, this was something that, since I wasn't involved in video games and like the video game wars and the console wars back in the whatever, it wasn't my personal Vietnam a la Movie Bob. Like, for me, it was always how many heads does your VCR have? I don't know why that was a thing. For me, the touchstone of my childhood, since we had a shit ton of VHS, was like the quality of the VCR. To me, it was like super heavy, had to be there. And for some reason, the more heads, the better.
I don't really understand what that means.
I don't either. That's the thing. It was like 8-bit and 16-bit. Like, if you could ask someone what that meant, they didn't know. But I knew that more heads in a VCR, I think it was just the way that the tape moved through them. Instead of having two, there was redundancy, or I don't know. That's the thing. You just knew that you wanted more heads in that VCR because you wanted more contact on that tape for some reason.
Give me all the heads in that VCR.
When DVD players came out, they were like, oh, we put in 5 lasers. Like, because you wouldn't need that, right? But I don't know. Maybe tape was different because, I was an ignorant child of the 90s.
We all were.
We all do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Which one is this?
8,
2?
9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh my God.
Friday the 13th.
Oh,
You may only see it once. But
that was the
will be
first
enough.
one.
Friday the 13th. Rated R.
They should have had 13 victims, not 12.
At the Bates Motel.
Norman, is that you?
Ugh.
No, it's Spud
I don't-
McKenzie, and it could be you.
I don't think that like it's been so long since I've seen Psycho. Did the mom have a voice in that? Yeah, she must have, right? She must have heard, like Norman must have heard that corpse, and we must have heard it as the audience, right? But I don't have any specific memory of that.
Oh my god, I saw that so long ago.
It is Spuds McKenzie, like classic mascot right there, right? Oh my god. 90s were like the era of mascots, whether they be cartoon or real life or, a la theme park mascot. They were just chocked full of them.
Yep.
Nothing today has a mascot. Nothing has an animal or like it's a bummer.
Look for this display and enter Bud Light Psycho Sweepstakes to win a Bud Light party with Spud McKenzie at the Psycho.
He's a
Masters.
psycho
You
for
can even get a
beer.
mug like Spud's at participating retailers. Wow!
That's one Bud Light tall boy or whatever Stein that we've not seen at Goodwill. You blame
Yes.
fat people? Is it their fault? I mean, I'll jump on that bandwagon because they're an easy scapegoat, but, I don't know what it is.
That Spud is so cool. It's
But again, never found any Spuds McKenzie glassware.
And we look, like every time I try and look.
We go to the thrift stores, the Goodwill, see what's out there. It's mostly just shit and we leave with nothing. But you know what? No Spuds, and I'm on the lookout.
Yep. Fat people got
we
cereal
present
to drop Happy
Scary
Meals, good toys, cereal having toys. Oh, yeah.
That's what's, because that's the thing.
Decline of toys.
That's one thing that I think you can say was like it might be subjectively better, but whatever. It was better like to most because you got a decent toy. Like I remember getting submarines or cars or glow in the dark spoons or color changing spoons or dinosaurs and shit. And like that was wild.
Yeah.
And
I like the color changing spoons.
Yeah, and like that was fun. I don't know why parents needed to not like just hey, guess what? Instead of taking away the toy, which is like the cool part, just be like, hey, less marshmallows, maybe? I don't know. Like the cereal sort of got caught up in the satanic panic that sort of was burning itself out.
Details.
I've rolled off the north side. Good news, my lord. Soon the city will be mine. Excellent, my lord. The wench has blocked me. We've lost.
What?
We, my lord?
Cathedral, the medieval strategy game. When the city is finished, you could be too.
I'd never played that.
Hi there, guys.
Like your friends will murder you over it? I've never been that serious about a board game. I'd punch someone back in the old days when I had,
Trung.
Yeah, when Trung was there, he would get, not a punch, open-handed slap lightly across the face. Maybe one on the butt. But yeah, I wouldn't kill anybody for it. That was Elvira. Cassandra, she's 70 years old now. Can you believe that? Or something close to that. She's like, for whatever reason, always over my Facebook feed. I don't know why.
Ghouls, it's me.
I was never an Elvira fan.
Halloween, and tonight I'm having my Halloween party right here at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific.
So come hang out.
Elvira shows you the
Central and
weirdest,
Pacific.
scariest videos ever made. The terror continues with Alice Cooper live in Detroit.
The scariest videos?
Thank God. Alice Cooper.
Elvira at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5
Just across
Pacific
the board.
time.
Look at that. Wherever you
Followed by
are, be
Alice
there.
Cooper in concert at midnight
It starts for
Eastern,
6
11
and
Central,
nobody.
9 Pacific. A Halloween you'll remember. A Halloween you won't be able to forget.
I complain about this too a lot, but like, where are the Halloween episodes of shows? Like, even on, here's the thing, when I had the time, I would throw, and like on the other show I was on too, I would throw a shit ton of effort into the Halloween episode because everybody always did, and I miss that. There's nothing out there that feels like to mark the occasion. Christmas is always going to have, whatever, the Mariah Carey aspect of it all. But like for some reason, Halloween's fallen out of favor, and I want maybe it's because sitcoms have sort of died. Because the only ones carrying that torch really were like Home Improvement and Family Matters, and Full House would do a kind of a thing, but Roseanne was a big one. The Simpsons knocked out of the park every fucking year.
Yeah, I feel like less people have cable now and just binge watch streamed shows. And yeah, there are sitcoms on those shows, but it's not like you're not waiting for the Halloween episode.
Right, I don't think that's the thing. Everybody will have a Christmas episode because there'll always be somebody who wants to watch a Christmas thing. But since they're released
in mass,
either all at once or like in a weird time, a Halloween episode maybe just doesn't feel relevant. Yeah, I've got a playlist of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors episodes. You know what I mean? So like, I get it.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why it fell apart. Let's work on that, people.
On MTV.
Last one there's a Halloweeny.
Me.
Konami's Castlevania The Adventure for Nintendo's Game Boy. Tales of vampire crypts.
Look how scary it is.
It is about to sink its fangs into you.
I played that game. I wasn't scared.
Genesis brings you the 16-bit arcade challenge with Ghostbusters.
Whoa.
16-bit thrills.
Back in the day, they would have equal parts, and before the graphics were 16, it was almost all like live action shit.
Oh,
like you'll see it on a lot of the NES covers. It'll be Cartoon Network or like Fabio or like real looking people.
Yeah,
but they would have commercials with like real people, and then you'd cut to this, and it's like, oh, little 16-bit sprite dude, in real armor. It was always crazy to me. What is up, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
In Ghouls and Ghosts.
Like this.
And 16-bit arcade action with Forgotten World.
Like that's what you're playing, like these non-Ghostbusters.
Ghouls and Ghosts. Ghostbusters and Forgotten Worlds are for the Genesis system. Sega Genesis brings the arcade experience home. Game sold separate.
I mean, kind of.
So, you want to know the story of Splatterhouse, the new horror video game for TurboGrafx 16? They say he stalks the old haunted mansion.
Besides the shock value of this for the time, it's not a great game.
Against the maggot-eating ghouls who took
Matt loved Ghosts and Goblins and Ghosts and Ghouls.
Yeah, I played Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and it's hard.
Splatterhouse.
Splatterhouse is boring as hell, though.
I'm Count Scary, and I bought 3D glasses for 39 cents from a participating Wendy's old-fashioned...
It's like John Travolta.
This is another thing I miss, like going to a 7-Eleven or whatever to get a Halloween thing. The Simpsons, one year for Halloween, you had to get 3D glasses, and oh my God, that was one of the coolest things I ever experienced growing up, because it was all over the media. It was going to be Halloween, there was blah, blah, blah. Oh, our glasses, we were all like, maybe that's the part I miss, is now that everything has been sort of fractioned off into like Paramount Plus, but if you have Walmart Plus, you get that too, and Hulu and Netflix, and they can maybe do a thing together, but you can also get Disney Plus, which might be lumped into Hulu, and you can get YouTube Plus.
Yeah, there's too many things to get one thing that we used to get.
I'm hoping that once they all go back to what cable essentially was, because that's what's happening, like they're all getting swallowed up and or offering the same services via different whatevers, like we'll just go back to cable and we can settle back down to enjoying Halloween again.
Yeah, we could all just have Pluto TV, but newer.
Yeah, it's just like... Why did people, cable worked. I mean, it wasn't great, but neither is what we're doing now. Like, at least you were getting gouged by one company instead of like 15.
Right. John Travolta. oh my God. Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like John Travolta.
It totally does.
I do love the insane Widow's Peak with the grease paint. That's way too much. Way too much.
The hamburger's
also
restaurant. Hand me my glasses. Not these glasses, Igor. Hand me the scary ones. And there goes...
P.S. I fucking love local commercials. All of the hilarious mistakes and like lighting and everything is just terrible. That's why they're so good. Like it's real people trying to do a thing.
So good with my fan.
Count Scary's 3D Party Tuesday, July 6th at 8 p.m. only on channel.
Go for it.
I believe Charlie's neighbor was a vampire.
sorry, Charlie.
But he was.
It was too low.
I always used to get bummed out when 3D stuff became like a big thing when I was growing up. Because I can't see. It doesn't do anything with my eyes. So I always felt like I was missing out on like so many cool things.
But not really. Like, it was never very good. I don't remember looking back at my childhood, and aside from being excited for the gimmick and like getting the glasses from 7-Eleven and like being told by the TV to do a thing, I was like, whoa. I mean, by and large, it did suck, but that's the thing. It was a gimmick, and that's...
Yeah.
Whether it works or it doesn't, you can still get... That's why, that sort of stuff works. We all get swept up in something that's essentially harmless that, gets us to watch The Simpsons. We pay 39 cents for a pair of 3D glasses or whatever.
The evil that awaits you on Fright Night. Friday night at 8.
Fright
Q13.
Hi there, I'm Dumpy the Pumpkin.
Dumpy!
Carvel's Halloween ice cream cake. I weigh 40...
This particular mold feels like such a fucking cop-out. It could be like... If for whatever reason they were ever running like a... like saving electricity, this could be a light bulb.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this could be a dude with a beard, a chef. They're running a chef special.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, upside down or inside out. It's just... lazy. This is lazy as shit.
I mean, his name is Dumpy.
24 ounces and serve 10 to 12 people.
A young kangaroo?
I'm Wiki the Witch, and I weigh 45 ounces.
Now, even though it is zoomed in, believe you me, it's the same shape.
Uh-huh.
What the... Like that... Yeah, like what? Why are we taking advantage of this shape? Like, that's the thing. I didn't grow up with Carvel. Carvel was an East Coast thing. We had Baskin Robbins out here if you wanted an ice cream cake or Dairy Queen. So when everybody talking about Carvel from back east, like it made it into comedy albums and shit. I go, well, they must be like the pinnacle, right? Like White Castle is for sliders. And you see this shit, and we go, all right, so they had the ball sack mold, and they accidentally bought 4,000 of them and had to justify it. So just put the witch in the nutsack, make a pumpkin a nutsack. Call the number. This isn't Salmon Show. I ain't gonna do that shit.
Isn't that a dog's chew toy?
Seriously, like, doesn't that look like something that's something like made in a felt. You can just be like, oh, here you go. What the fuck?
Participating Carvel ice cream store.
You want to send one to a friend?
Don't.
Please phone 800-327-GIFT and Call the Cake honors most major credit cards. Thank you.
And if we deliver it and they're not home...
I feel like that was actually whatever his name is, Carvel. Let's say Tom Carvel. I would take most major credit cards. Why else would you get like the oldest man in the world to tell you that information? Here comes Angus Scrim.
To the world of terror. When I'm not busy embalming bodies, which isn't often, I like to relax with some good family reading. Let me introduce you to my
Is this Fangoria?
personal library of Fangoria.
There we go.
In horror entertainment.
My cousin had a Fangoria magazine that I would just dive into every time I was at his house, and it scared the shit out of me, but I kept looking at it. Like, I would have nightmares, and I would just keep going back for more. It was fucked, and he only had one issue. I remember it, like, cover to cover, because I looked at it every time, and a lot every time I was over there. I looked at the selection of the vinyl masks. This was around the time that Jason Goes to Hell came out. There was a lot of promotional material of that. I remember seeing like still shots of the Black Coroner like biting into Jason's heart and being like, fuck.
What else would you use that mold shape for? That's what I can't get over.
Right. It's just like a sack. It's a ball sack. And they go, well, shit. Tom Carvel accidentally ordered the ball sack cake model when he was drunk. We'll take most major credit cards. Please buy his ball sacks.
Get these cakes because I'm broke now.
Cover of Freddy Krueger.
I wouldn't mind finding some vintage
The
Fangoria.
latest horror videos and gloriously bloody color photos from the newest Friday the 13th. They're all
that always blew my mind because like this was the 90s, right? It wasn't like the 60s where they go, it's color photo. And you go, whoa. Like TV stations had they put on like a coronation, they cut ribbons and shit when they went from black and white to color. Like this is pulp shit. Like this is, horror has always sort of appealed to the lowest common denominator in everybody's mind. That's why pulp magazines were horror and like H.P. Lovecraft writers and what. So like really leaning into the fact that they're color.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the Fangoria magazine that I had access to was high quality. Like it wasn't pulp. Like it was glossy front and back, and all the pages were good to go. Like you could probably spill a drink on it, and as long as you acted quickly, you'd probably be in the clear. Nothing I owned that was actually on pulp would survive even like a sneeze.
They're all here in Fangoria. Can I persuade you to subscribe?
This is Fango editor Tony Tupone asking you to enter the world of Fangoria.
That's fucking hilarious because it's like actually a dude probably in the back office like with a computer mic.
Yeah. Tony Tupone.
Only $12.49 for a special
$12.49
video subscription. Send check or money order to Fangoria Magazine, 475 Park Avenue
475.
South, New York, 10016.
Ah, let the dead bodies wait.
Nobody expected it.
Is this the
Nobody believed it.
Whatever? Re-release?
And nothing could stop it. The one hope. The only hope. The Exorcist. Rated R.
What's his name? Max von
Waiting
Sydow.
for. Without the wait.
That has to be a re-release, right? They must have reissued, or not reissued, but like re-released it in theaters in the 90s, right? Money order.
Money order.
Hey, give us your money order. We'll send you 6 months of Fangoria magazine out of Boston.
Branch is a living, breathing nightmare of more than 30 incredible rooms, each with its own very special surprise.
What?
Wander through its myriad of secret passageways and winding labyrinths. Discover the graveyard of the living dead and its unimagined terror. There's Renfield and his spiders, the Prince of Darkness, Count Dracula, and many more. At the Haunted Mansion at Long Branch, it's waiting for you.
Jersey.
Sometimes.
That's one thing I never want to do and never
Go to
have done.
Jersey?
Well, yes, but do a haunted house. Go walk through a haunted house. No, that's not. No.
I did those shit. Like, you know, nothing big, obviously, because it's whatever locally gets set up. And we've got some decent ones. Like on the res, there's a couple of them out there that take up like acres of shit. The one I went to was in a Macy's parking lot.
Oh.
And it was spooky, but like immersion was kind of broken because, like, don't get me wrong, I was young, too young for this probably. But my cousins were going. They said, "Do you want to go?" They showed up in the van. I said, "Hell yeah," because I would do anything that they said. I would have committed crimes for them. So we go to this haunted house, and you know it's scary as hell to me. And looking back, you know I can remember now it was mostly just like sort of lame painted plywood. And all the jump scares are pretty formulaic. But as a kid, not having experienced that, you go, "Whoa." Until we get to the part where like it goes dark and we're supposed to make a sharp turn and someone screams and we all scream and then we're lost and the person who screams, who's like in a little bubble above us, like behind some cobwebs or whatever, has to like stick their hand down and like guide us through. We're like, "Thank you." And so it
was lost.
A little bit was lost in translation after that, but
not only were you in a Macy's parking lot, you had to get escorted out.
Yeah, but by the end, when the dude popped out with like the chainsaw with no chain on it, I was like back into shitting my pants.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
On board.
I don't like being scared, like IRL, like a horror movie, whatever. In person stuff, nope. If I have to sign a waiver to walk through a haunted house, I'm out.
It looks like the crucifix is actually coming towards your crotch. It's in 3D.
But not with a new Stanley Lightmaker garage door
Sounds
opener.
like that Willy
One
Wonka
button
experience,
opens your
says
garage,
Bosco.
But the other button turns these back into...
Like, adding a light to a garage door opener seems like it's just a no-brainer, right? I just imagined that when garage doors were invented, they were like, "Cool, we got this unlocked." And then when the opener came along, they go, "Whoa, we don't have to lift it with our hand anymore." I just assumed that every one of them from the jump had a light bulb on it.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it wasn't until the 90s we're like, "Hey, guess what, motherfuckers?
We got lights now.
It'll open your garage and turn on a light." Like, Yeah, par for the course. Anyway.
Into these because it turns on lights from the safety of your car.
Oh, this is different.
Light makers.
Oh.
This is like, okay.
The smart home.
Another thing that happened a fuck ton in the 90s. Turning on lights from a phone, a car, a garage door opener, or whatever.
Clapping
is the thing. Yeah. Because you could like, I'm trying to remember the specifics of it, but like you could call a number and turn on the lights, or like with this one that's hooked up to your garage door opener, it always felt like House of the Future. And my cousin, again, to bring up them, they sort of had this because they had everything that I didn't growing up, and that's why I went over there. They had cable, and they had a pool, and all this other stuff. And they also had an intercom because their house was built in the 70s, and so it tried to be the future. And so in every room, there was a foot square black box that had a big-ass speaker that also had an AM/FM radio and an intercom through different rooms of the house that you could speak throughout the house to. Never saw that fucking thing work in my life. And one day I bent an entire, like, I spent it at my cousin's house, which I did often. Spent the entire time there. I was like, we need to see if this shit can work. And we spent the entire night, and I think we got it to work from, like, his bedroom to my other cousin's bedroom. So we were able to talk to each other roughly 8 feet away, but nowhere else.
I mean, progress.
Waste of time. But that's the thing. It felt so futuristic. I was like, why aren't you using this 24/7? Like, if I had a button in every room in my house, I could just go boop and talk to whoever, wherever they were. Be like, come over here. But now we have texting, right?
Yeah. David and I both work from home, and we work in separate rooms, but like we'll randomly text each other. Like he'll text me, it's snowing in Flagstaff on the train station on the computer.
Right, but back in the 70s, what I would do is I would have a thing on the wall, and I would walk over and I'd go boop, and it would go, and you know that something was about to happen.
Yeah.
I would go, snow in Flagstaff over.
Call this number. We'll send Eddie here to your house. Turn on all your lights. Just leave the key under the mat.
Got it, boss. He's trustworthy.
Get a transmitter free with purchase, plus a chance to win an Oldsmobile in Stanley
Whoa.
Sweepstakes.
The nightmare continues. Halloween 2.
No?
We didn't think this would work out, so let's see what happens with the second one.
Halloween 2, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Part of the last screams of Shocktober.
Shocktober. That's something I missed too, is like Shocktober, Rocktober, like
yeah.
October fell off the map. I don't know. Is it just me? I don't feel like I've just checked out of reality. It just feels like Christmas feels like it's encompassed all of Thanksgiving, and Halloween is now not even like an afterthought. Like everybody's eating pumpkin pie going like, did I buy a Dracula costume or something?
Look what's rising out of the pumpkin patch this Halloween. The pumpkin
It's a great
carve,
pumpkin.
a great way to let your kids carve their own pumpkins without sharp edges that cut little hands. It even makes toothy grins
We tried to make this kid cut himself, and he couldn't. And he wanted to.
easy to do. The pumpkin scoop removes seeds and pulp better than any spoon.
I doubt
No,
that.
it doesn't. No. Anyone who's ever bought any pumpkin carving kit knows that it's bullshit. Some of the knives are okay. Like the finer blade stuff can go good if you're getting into like intricate. But anything they give you to scoop is garbage.
I'm
It's
sure it just
shit.
breaks.
Just get a big metal spoon.
Yeah.
You know, here's 0.003 ounces of plastic. And what am I going to do with that? The pumpkins we usually got were like pretty big, and we would end up with just a heap, like bowls, like huge mixing bowls of just pumpkin guts would be all over the place, or we would fill paper bags with them. Like that fucking little like thumbnail sized scoop they give you ain't gonna do shit.
And the pumpkin light replaces dangerous candles with glowing results.
Dangerous. You would have to really break your back to prove that they're dangerous, because like I live in a very dry state. Arizona is very dry. We're always on fire warning. And as a consequence of that, I know the stuff that burns easily, and like a big ass pumpkin with a tea light in it, like is the least of my concerns anywhere ever.
Yeah.
Have a great pumpkin this Halloween with the pumpkin cutter, pumpkin scoop, and pumpkin light.
Look at the light.
Oh, and P.S. Since this is like 1992-ish, that thing takes 6 double A's. God, maybe like 3 C cells, and it lasts 14 minutes.
Pumpkin cutter products available at Long's Drugs and Safeway.
Got any weird sexual fetishes yet, audience?
They're 10-cent candles or 2 batteries costing $10.
Yeah, you get those copper tops, and that's the thing, batteries are like $500 a box now. The person shooting this commercial couldn't have been like, do we need 2 Nixons? and not only do we need 2 Nixons, but they need to be side by side. Like, do they have like a maximum Nixon and a minimum Nixon where it's like, you know, one is like for the people who want to be Nixon but don't want to spend a lot of cash?
Yeah.
Instant Eye Hotline?
Ugh.
What the hell does that mean? Oh, Eyewitness News? What are we doing here? I thought this was I was hoping this was like a local Halloween commercial. This is Eyewitness News, and you call them. This is how little we knew about advertising in the 80s and 90s.
Yep. Here's
Like
a bunch of masks. Call us.
the 40s and 50s, we had it on lock, even into the 60s, where it was like, hey, they're talking to cameras like, smoke a cigarette because your doctor says it's good after meals. Ah, luckies. But the 80s and 90s, it's like, well, what do we do? And like, well, just throw a bunch of shit in a white or black void, and we'll overlight it, shoot it flat, and I mean, people need this shit, right? Terrible.
This is a news story. Those are severed heads.
They kill a Yeti?
Of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them. Nightmare on Elm Street.
No! Goodbye, Johnny Depp.
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails, no one will survive.
Cavalcade of stars. Kevin Bacon getting killed in the first Friday the 13th. Johnny Depp getting killed in the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Did anyone die of... Well, Jamie Lee Curtis is the last girl of Halloween. Like, these things have, like... Not for any intentional move on the part of the filmmakers, but, like, some quality actors in these first ones.
Survive. Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street, rated R.
New Line Cinema.
Now playing.
I love a good Halloween anthology movie, too. I've got several. Like Creep Show, or what's the other terrible one? Tales from the Dark Side, I think it's a movie out there. But like anything where you can pack like 3-4 short spooky stories into a movie, I love that shit.
Pick up some spooky decorations at Walgreens. Just $7.99 each. Scary sound.
You know how like people say like the Bible is the most printed book? I feel like that laugh that you're hearing in this commercial is the most replicated sound ever. Because it doesn't necessarily go to Halloween exclusively. Like it was on every Halloween toy. But like there are some regular toys you'd find at Walgreens or Toys R Us, like the cheap shit that would have that laugh on it.
Yeah, they just didn't know what else to put, so they just added the laugh.
It's like the Wilhelm scream for kids.
Sound-activated Halloween figures, battery-operated pirate skull, witches,
say goodbye to all your money through double
Stock up on
A's.
Halloween candy too. Walgreens has a wide selection of treats and goodies of all kinds. And it's time
Easy
for
boy.
holiday photo greeting cards. Put your favorite photo on any of 6 beautiful designs. All orders include a free marker pen. Treat yourself to savings.
You're getting a free marker pen.
Whoa.
And don't tag the fucking Halloween commercial with the Joy of the World and Angel Christmas cards, you fuckers.
At Walgreens.
But that's next. Start early on Halloween.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I blew a lot of my allowance back in the day at Walgreens because it was right down the street, could easily get to it, and they carried, a decent amount of toys.
They don't really anymore.
Not really. Joe Piscopo and the mullet. There are people living within spitting distance of me wearing mullets unironically.
Yep.
More than one, and more than like half a dozen, probably.
Yep.
On Halloween, reach for
Why didn't Ben think of that, right? Would have saved a lot of lives. Night of the Living Dead.
This place was once a funeral parlor, wasn't it? What was that?
Now it's a party house. This is insane. I kind of want to watch it.
Night of the Demon.
Oh, it's a Tales from the Crypt movie.
Joe Piscopo in the 90s and not shirtless? Maybe at some point.
That was one of those things, man. For some reason, the public gets super amped over comedians who get buff, and it doesn't happen a lot. So I guess I can see why. But like Joe Piscopo got like super jacked. Carrot Top is super jacked. It's weird to see those two things meld.
Oh, he is? Carrot Top is? Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Rayovac, Burger King, and Channel 47 want kids to have a bright and safe Halloween. Once again this year,
Walk around with a really big light on you.
Yeah, how'd you like to ruin your kid's costume by strapping lights to their front and back and then taping garbage around their wrist that McDonald's gives you? Yeah. Hey, you want to look like a fucking garbage scow, a light up garbage scow, kids? You know, it's for safety's sake. I mean, I can go trick-or-treating with you and make sure you don't get hit by cars, but you know what? Fuck it.
Nope. Doing jello shots at home, baby.
Trick-or-treating Halloween night. These flashlights will light the way.
Hi, Fox.
What's happening,
Are you,
Fox Mulder?
Are you buff, Fox?
Are you buff? But also look at the shape of that flashlight, right? Like that. It's not ergonomic. It's not anything that's like pleasant. It's like the cheapest model flashlight that you can stick around your kid's neck that will constantly be hurting their chest plate.
And they're using it in daylight.
Well, yeah, all the commercials had to be shot in daylight. They weren't going to like wait till night, pull out a bunch of lights because cameras, we don't need to get into it. They don't work well at night without a bunch of light.
To safer rounds of the neighborhoods. To get your flashlight.
But that's the part of it too, is like when I was a kid, it was like, make sure you go out when, the sun is still above the horizon. I go,
yeah.
On what planet? Like, I would beg my parents. I was like, please, as soon as dinner was over, I was like, let's hit the streets. Time is ticking. Oh, no. Wait till the sun goes down first. I go, God damn.
Just come to any Madison Burger King on October 30th and ask for one. No purchase is necessary, and Burger King will give you a special treat bag and a coupon good for the soft drink of your choice. But the supply is limited, so get to Burger King early. And remember, be safe this Halloween.
No purchase necessary, but you might feel like a dick walking in, getting something for free, and leaving.
But that's the type of... this is so annoying, because they still do it, I imagine. Where Village Inn has free pie Wednesdays, where as long as you make any purchase, you get a free slice of pie. So there were multiple times when I would go there with my parents and I was still like doing that whole like eating in disgusting places thing, where like Ma and Pa Kettle would bring in their 18 shoeless children. They'd get 17 Sprites and a Diet Coke and 22 slices of pie because that was Wednesday dinner.
Yeah.
And the parents got to skate on like under $20 for their kids to get soda and pie, like a food made by somebody and not out of a can or whatever. And it was always depressing to watch because, I mean, like the thing is, they want you to get in there to get their fucking steak and eggs or their chicken fried steak or whatever
food.
garbage Village Inn. And hey, good news, we'll give you a free slice of pie too. These people are like, what's the cheapest thing you got? Sprite? Cool. Just send round after round of pie over here. Yeah, the classic, the Jerry Griffith grifters. Well, I was coming to pick up an apple pie.
Costumes, be extra careful crossing streets, and ask your parents to check your treats and throw out any unwrapped ones just to be safe. We'll help.
P.S. Never happened. Never found an unwrapped treat. Never found lead or staples or glass or anything. That's the thing. All the cases where children were killed by Halloween candy were done by their parents. So parents are to blame maybe for fucking up Halloween.
Wilhelm
And I'm one now, so I got to bear a little bit of that.
A special treat from Burger King just
Disposable
for the
flashlight?
It all happens Thursday,
That thing's
October
huge.
30th only at the Madison Burger King near you. And happy Halloween from Rayovac, Burger King, and Channel 47.
Only available on October 30th.
And P.S. Rayovac, the official dollar store battery.
Yeah.
If you buy batteries that say heavy duty, you're heavily in debt, probably.
Well, that's why they're disposable.
Says Goop, says pilots.
One and done.
Halloween's coming, the trick-or-treaters are out. But look at that witch on Halloween night. She's the first one with a blinking pumpkin light. Pumpkin light flashes so everyone knows.
I don't want to keep bringing this up, but notice how they're in. It's a little bit different. I'll give you. It's not a white void and it's not a black void. It's a gray void because the back is black and the bottom is white, but it is still a void.
Yep.
What the fuck are we doing here?
No, she is near. Pumpkin Night makes Halloween safer and scarier this year. And Pumpkin Night safer for a spooky pumpkin too. Just pop it right in.
Mittens.
And watch your pumpkin go boom.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin Light is available at Osco, Purity Supreme,
I don't say
Spags,
pumpkin.
and Leeward's.
I miss Osco. You say mittens.
It was a
I do.
Halloween party where
Kitten
fantasies come true. I put on Showtime makeup and did a dance or two.
He looks like the guy from
Boys
Dream
and
Bunny.
ghouls were hanging out like Vamp and Tigress too. My Showtime.
This turned into a weird drama club sex orgy.
Yes.
They all came in the same makeup. They're fucking giving each other massage circles at the local theater. And once a year on Halloween, they all fuck each other but don't talk about it.
Yep.
They go, all right, this year we're doing Oklahoma. And they all in their heads go, I'm going to bang the shit out of all of you when we wear Showtime grease paint makeup.
Yep.
Showtime face was all in place then. Rock Angel, I saw you.
It's Showtime, the adult Halloween makeup.
Adult.
Showtime is hypoallergenic, more comfortable than masks, more fun too.
You know you are my fantasy.
I would kind of hope that they would always be hypoallergenic because you're putting it all over your face.
Oh, it's like inert grease. But moral of the story is would you rather get with someone who is yeah, I know what I am going to be expecting at a party. I'm an adult, right? It's adult face paint. It's going to be booze, maybe getting P to V action. This guy's you know what? I'm going to maintain my virginity. He's tonight, no widow's peak. He's got a widow's bench. Right there.
Tonight's about me,
He goes,
not
you know
about
what?
other people.
I'm not getting laid. Shaving my chest. She's you're right. Woo, look at that. Look at the eye line. No laid.
Speak to you. Make up a Halloween fantasy with Showtime makeup.
P.S. Is everybody either going to be a jungle animal or a fucking David Bowie Star Child ripoff?
That's it.
Until they were rudely interrupted.
Acid rain.
Just want to party.
This place is a mess.
Now look who's awake. They're on the way.
So the black guy with the Jerry curl, bringing it back to Friday the 13th. I think he was in. Oh shit! Was it the fourth or fifth one? He has diarrhea. It might even be in Jason Goes to Manhattan. I don't remember a lot of the chronology. I just know that he has to shit because of them damn enchiladas, and that him and his girlfriend sing to each other as he's shitting through the wall of the outhouse or wherever the fuck it is.
Weird. The fifth one, Jameson.
The fifth, thank you.
They're back from the grave and ready to party.
I think things are getting out of hand.
He's ooh, baby. What?
The return of the living dead.
Starts Friday.
I had a lot of animosity toward the Night of the Living Dead because I considered myself a purist in that zombies were brain dead, reanimated corpses who needed, or maybe not necessarily needed, but were impelled to eat the flesh of the living. So the specificity of brains always seemed so ooh, baby. So fucking stupid. It seemed antithetical, right? Because if you're going to turn it into a flesh-eating monster, the original Romero zombie, because the two Johns of the whatever, you can look into it if you want to, it just ring more true to me. Because if you're going to be a zombie that eats brains, and they kind of go over it in the movie, the brains make the pain go away for the zombies because they're dead, and I guess that hurts. But why go exclusively after the thing that is like armored by the body.
Yeah.
Like your brain is the most protected part. But then again, the tar man bites into Suicide's head like it's a cosmic crisp apple. So, maybe it's a different universe.
Friday, August 16th at a theater near you.
The trick to saving is treating yourself.
Is it?
Beef Hy-Vee specials. Tombstone pizza, 2 for $6.
Oh, it's
Ruffles
pizza?
Chip, $1.88.
Oh.
Nabisco premium crackers.
No, this is probably like
a grocery store.
Either that or like maybe akin to like a Osco or a Jewel Osco or a Walgreens, I think.
And USDA choice beef chuck 7-bone.
Well, no, they sell meat, so I gotta say it's probably.
Get low prices all day, every day.
There you
Shop
go.
Hy-Vee.
All day, every day. Look at that balloon.
That mustache.
When you see me, everyone knows what time of year it is. It's Halloween.
What?
This Halloween, make sure adults see you coming with shiny, bright yellow Halloween safety bags from Pizza Hut and 28 WPTF-TV. And be careful trick-or-treating this Halloween. Tell your parents where you're going and who's going.
Or
go with them.
Why is it? I wasn't allowed to trick-or-treat alone. Like even
me either.
Like pre-teens. I think like maybe 12 or 13, like my last year of trick-or-treating, I got to go alone. But every year, my mom and or my dad was there taking us around. Like we wouldn't.
Yeah, I never went alone, and we never went very far from our house.
We went all over the place because I wanted that fucking candy. We went with pillowcases and we pull in like 10 pounds a year. But moral of the story is like what else are you doing, right? Like number one and number two, like I don't think I've ever.
My parents never went to like Halloween parties on Halloween, and either both of them or one of them would go and the other would pass out candy. Probably my dad, I think, would come with me because my dad wasn't very social, and so he would just walk with me and tell me when we were leaving.
I think it just comes down to like, I don't think, because maybe this is just a cliche, because all the true crime cases that happen in a small town, they go, well, this was a town where you could keep your doors unlocked and even like, hang your dick out the window and no one would say boo. But then that murder happened and now we're all scared to shit. And like, the fact of the matter is it probably isn't any more or less dangerous, but I never lived in a time or place where it was like, yeah, go out whenever. Like maybe my parents were just paranoid or my mom, but I wasn't allowed to do anything by myself.
I wasn't either. And like when we did Halloween, like I said, we would only do like 2 streets in our neighborhood, like in our area. And then after we did that, we would drive to my grandparents' house because they would make like a little baggie. And then I would go just around the cul-de-sac on the street, and that's it. That was all the candy I got.
We had like, I mean, we went everywhere we could. Like there was the rich people houses, there was our neighborhood. We went as many places, like until the porch lights went out, we were out.
Fox says Halloween parties were cool when I was 10 and then cool again when I turned 35. Now they're so-so.
It's right. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's like a cultural waning that we just have to sort of get back into. I feel like nobody is as excited as me, and it's hard to be a one-man band for a thing that happens all the fucking time that you guys should be into, you motherfuckers. Like, it's fun. Everybody likes wearing costumes. Mm-hmm. Some people like to fuck in them, but we can talk about that at a later date. Furries are gross. But moral of the story is everybody likes a little bit of escapism, and it should be something that we all look forward to. But maybe the decay came with the rise of like, but Spirit's been around for a while, but like the rise of the ironic or the sexy costumes where it's like, hey, I'm going to be a breathalyzer where you have to blow into my dick. Where, like most costumes are that instead of scary.
Right. Yeah. Hello, Ryan. Yeah. The twist is Halloween.
You have to find someone who's in it too. My friend / co-host, go look at Scott Vaughn's channel and watch some of the Raiders of the Lost Genre. He puts on a baller Halloween party because he, like me, still holds it in his heart all year round. So he goes out, throws the whole house into a Halloween
inside
display.
And outside.
Music, Pepper's Ghosts, the whole nine.
Yep.
Don't fuck around and half-ass this shit. That's the make it or break it, people. And Fox, you should know. You want to believe.
We dressed up at the age of 10. We egged a house and ran. Pro tip, don't dress as a zombie in baggy clothes if you need to run.
Right, yeah. I was a martial artist from like the age of 10, so even when I was wearing the baggy jeans, I was very aware that if I had to kick someone, I would need to adjust my stance. You anxious to touch the breathalyzer?
Anxious to touch my breathalyzer?
Before you go out, you can pick up a free Halloween
Mrs. Mouth ready to meet Mr. Breathalyzer?
safety bag. Come to any participating Pizza Hut restaurant and pick one up. The Halloween safety bag
Doesn't that look like an abandoned one?
is free from your friends at Pizza Hut and WPTF TV.
Hi, I'm a Boglin. Me and my buddies want to be your friend, right, guys? Right. Call us at 1...
There's me and King Cobra JFS.
Call us at 1-900. It's probably a sex line now.
Call the Boglin hotline. Here's the thing. So these are Boglins, right? Mm-hmm. And people, if you're into lolcows, you hear King Cobra JFS called a Boglim. Mm-hmm. And it's not even a reference. I found this story out through some podcast or something, but it's not even a reference to the Boglins.
Oh.
Cool Taste, who was another blind YouTuber in that sort of white trash milieu, was trying to say goblin and said Boglum.
Oh, my God.
Pretty sure I'm not screwing up that story.
1-900-909-5464.
Call 1-900-Mix-a-Lot.
My grandmother made an awesome spider costume, and I had 8 legs, all that hung from a string. Big ass. I was a Black Widow. Awesome shit.
And help your teacher grade your math test. Yeah, new story every day. One call gets you a 3D Boglin hologram like this.
Cool Taste murdered his grandpa.
Trade him with your buddy.
4 calls get you a set of 6. So, are you serious? No. I mean, here's the thing. There are so many lolcows I haven't looked into any of them. Basically, and I'm falling out pretty hard. I mean, the closest we ever got to like a straight up murder was like Down the Hill Dave with King Cobra, but I'll hear the story, Fosco.
Buddies, and part of your $2.35 2-minute call goes to Special Olympics. So get your parents' permission and call us at 1-900-909-5464. Don't get the phone.
It's a long story, but I swear on everything he murdered his grandpa.
I'll hear it. I'll hear it later, obviously.
Wednesday, it's hot and cold running chills as a big witch brews trouble for America's...
I mean, everything, but Fosco, are you in any way up to date or in the know about the like Crystal and Leslie shit? I feel like that would be something I could get pulled into because they seem like the right type of toxic dynamic that wouldn't turn me off like Shanny for Christ and the Rev do. But again, for me, my lolcow ingestion has to be through the filter of a highly motivated troll like Audentum or whatever. I can't watch the raw content unless it's Cyrax. I can watch that shit. Oh, okay. So whatever. I watched a documentary about a grandpa who like ruined the whole family with sexual abuse, and up until his dying day, like they were like, "Meh, you follow Crystal Station? You're a stronger man than I can't watch that shit." Like when they interact with Marty and do all that shit, I need an abbreviated version. I can't.
Marty has his hands in other lolcows?
Yeah.
I fucking hate Marty. I cannot. His voice, I can't.
You have to diversify because that's the thing. Lolcows can come in a fashion. Hypothetically, I mean, Chris Chan has stayed in the public eye. Cyrax hasn't gone anywhere. I don't know why Audentum stopped his story. I don't think it's over. He hasn't died. I think there's plenty more to go on with that shit. Whatever, to each their own. But yeah, the Crystal Station thing seems like really toxic. But since both people are complicit, I can go, well, fuck them both.
America's favorite rabbit in Bugs Bunny's Halloween special.
Me, what's up, Witch?
Raggedy Ann and Andy get the stuffing
Great
scared
Scott,
out of them
Marty's
in the
got
pumpkin
involved with
recruiting
lolcows.
spot.
Great
2
Scott.
Halloween treats starting
Marty.
at 7 Central and Mountain.
7 years.
7 years, Marty.
I consider Marty just as much of a lolcow as the lolcows that he covers. Because he has himself in there.
Here's the thing. You're not alone in that. I think that a lot of trolls walk that line. And I don't want to talk about lol cows too much, but here's the thing. All the trolls that I follow and or watch for their accounts of lol cows all seem to follow a lockstep pattern. Like they're all dudes who smoke a lot of weed, who drink a lot of booze, who have middle of the road jobs, who need like a whipping boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Fossil says, long story short, Cool Taste went live one day and told everyone his grandpa was dying in a couple days. I asked how. He said they were going to take him off his oxygen. I asked if he was in hospice, and
wait,
we'll find out the rest of the story.
Interacting with Cool Taste? What the fuck?
Our lol cows where we get laughing cow cheese. I love laughing cow cheese.
I interacted with Cyrax once and I immediately regretted it because he shouted me out. He said my name. Like it was right after he was banned off of YouTube for one of those times. So he was on Kick. So I had a Kick account. I was like, okay, I'll go check him out. So he was live and I was at work and he's, there was 8 of us in the room. And he's like, Cyrax is dead. He's like, that character's dead. And I was like, R.I.P. Cyrax. He's like, I don't go. He got mad at me. I don't go by that. What's your FFOP radio? And I was like, oh my God, please don't let that hit a clip channel. Don't let anyone give a that. Obviously, no one gave a fuck, and that's why I'm telling you the story. But like, for a hot second there, I was like, oh shit, don't say my name, dude.
I asked if he was on hospice and he said no. I asked if he was on life support, also no. So I asked how the fuck was he getting his oxygen taken away, and he said him and his sister were turning it off. I asked if a doctor was involved, and we'll see what happens
Fosco,
next.
What the fuck? That's a low caliber yet, kids.
More of the night he came home. Halloween 2.
There was nothing within him, neither conscience nor reason, that wasn't even remotely human.
Don't miss the all-new Halloween 2.
Donald Pleasance doesn't phone it in. Whether he's doing Halloween 1, 2, or whatever, or doing Puma Man, he is fucking working his ass off. Puma.
Of the night he came home. Halloween 2, rated R. The horror continues. Now playing at a theater
Waiting
near
for
you.
the rest of Fosco's story.
I'm ready
He fell
for
asleep.
Halloween. And if enough trick-or-treaters
Silver
don't show
Shamrock.
up,
What the fuck is this dude's head problem?
you're ready for next Halloween, too.
No way. Because Laverdius will give me full credit on all unopened bags
6 more days till Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
of candy purchased at that.
Doesn't that look like Elizabeth Perkins as portraying Betty Rubble in the Flintstones live-action movie alongside Rick Moranis and the guy Dan from Roseanne, whose name is
John Goodman?
John Goodman. Again, no.
Again, no doctor involved. So I said, hey, that's murder, dude. You can't do that. His sister, who lurks in the chat but never shows up on stream, started yelling, Austin, turn off your stream now, his real name, a few days.
Whoa, that's fucking crazy.
Yes, it's Wilma, not Betty.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, Betty was played by Rosie O'Donnell. My mistake. Again, Elizabeth Perkins as Wilma has shown up on my Facebook feed a couple of times for some reason.
Oh.
And I go...
Random.
Well, it's part of this trend that I'm seeing. It's like actors from the 80s or 90s in a panel above and then them today. Except all of these seem to be generated by fucking AI because it'll be 3 actors up front from a movie and the ones on the bottom typically aren't the same actors above, and they'll say, look how time, and everybody in the comments is like, what the fuck? And so I don't comment because everyone's already said it. Rosie O'Donnell. Elizabeth Perkins, though, hot.
A few days later, he goes live again and announces his grandpa was found dead in his bed. If you don't know, the grandpa lived in the basement. So I pressed him on it, and he flipped out hard. Since then, his mental...
So this feels a little bit like Anthony Tomaselli, except like they killed him and then spilled the beans. They didn't spill the beans and then kill him.
This 12-ounce bag of Whoppers milk chocolate or a 10-ounce bag of Milk Duds chocolate-covered caramels, only $1.59 at all of Verdi's.
I fucking hate Whoppers. I love Milk Duds.
I like Milk Duds.
Stores.
How sweet it is.
Laverdeers.
Heading for Woolworth and Woolco to get set for Halloween. There's costumes of TV favorites like Wonder Woman.
Woolworths/Woolco was one of those 100-year-old companies. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'll tell you this story. The last Woolworths ever, I think, I was told by my grandmother, because we would go there. She called it the dime store, because when she lived there, it was a dime store. But the last Woolworths ever anywhere was in Globe. Mm-hmm. It is now a jewelry store / music store. It's part of like Milano's if you're local.
Yeah.
Sad to see it go.
Since then, his mental and physical health have fallen off a cliff. He hates me because I commented on a video about him that Cool Taste murdered his PDF grandpa. Since then, he banned me and my alts. I don't know anymore. I don't follow anymore. Jesus Christ.
I can't believe you interacted that deeply with Cool Taste. Only because I don't find him a very compelling character. And honestly, I don't give a fuck about King Cobra. I can take 8 minutes of him max a week. I find him and his pay pigs and Jessica and all of that so fucking irritating. I just check in for the briefest highlights and then I fuck off.
Well, I
haven't even watched the intervention video.
I can't stand Cyrax. I can't stand listening to him scream all the time and Marty. But like Cobra, I could sit and like zone out to whatever bullshit he was doing. But then she showed up and the little bits that I've seen, she acts just like him, but it bothers me more. I mean, it's just because she's a girl.
You don't like Cyrax because of the pitch of his voice, and I don't like Cobra because of the content. I don't like fucking lol cows who just sit there and go, PayPal and Cash App if you want to shout out. I'm looking to get a 40 a Keystone or Bush Peach or whatever. Fuck you. Obviously, Cyrax is getting money behind the scenes. All lol cows have white knights that give them money. But Cyrax at least doesn't beg. He complains about everything. He plays the victim, which Cobra does too. But at the end of the day, he doesn't go, tactical soap, or I'll shout you out, or hit me up on PayPal. Fuck you, Cobra. Fuck you. I fucking hate that shit.
Cool Taste is the most boring person on YouTube, but there are some cool dudes in this chat.
Yeah, Cool Taste is very boring.
And many more at bare bones.
Cool Tapes.
$2.38 to $4.17.
$4.17.
Face Pops, Hallowitches, wrapped candy of every kind, all at the face.
This is before when things were just like 99. Everything was I don't think unless you go to like a mom and pop or like a specialty or a weirdo store, everything is like, maybe I haven't been in a Walmart in a long time, so maybe they do things different. I feel like everything was just 99 something one day, $10.99, $7.99. Everything was just like something 99. It's like what we do with gas. It's like we know that you're getting charged 0.99% of tax or whatever. Why can't we just make it easy on ourselves, guys? Like, I understand we have to have bureaucracy and rules and regulations, but make it easy on the end consumer. When I was a kid, the collector card, whatever store that I went to that sold like baseball and basketball and comic cards, I would buy Wolverine and Marvel Universe 1994, Marvel Masterpiece. Sometimes, moral of the story is they went the extra mile to be like, hey, we'll make everything an even amount. So a pack of Wolverine cards, $2 out the door. Tax was built in. Why can't we do that for each other? It would make things like, hey, instead of just have the tax built in based on what and where you are, that would have to be like logistically a nightmare for companies that are nationwide. So maybe not, but like local stores can do this shit. Come on.
Favorite Halloween haunts, Woolworth and Woolco.
Yeah, Woolworth.
Halloween costumes from most stores have one built-in disadvantage. Anyone can buy the same costume. A costume from Ragstock, on the other hand, is unique.
because you selected yourself from a huge stock of recycled clothing. Create your own Dracula or Superman. Be a cowboy or
rag stock?
a rock star, a tramp or a vamp.
Visit Ragstock at 327 State Street, Madison.
That's wild.
Master?
Quiet, I'm calculating.
Isn't it dark in there?
Not for my new Anilite solar calculator from Texas Instruments.
You have a Texas instrument?
Texas Instruments Anilite calculator. Unlike other solar calculators.
I mean, P.S. I'm not in a coffin and behind a thin mesh of, like, sound dampening material, and there's a fuck ton of light in here.
It works in almost
Any light.
Good.
Even like a fuck ton, like in here.
New line of Anilite solar calculators from Texas Instruments.
Imagine the Prince of Darkness with a solar calculator.
Ooh, scary.
Tired of wearing the same old face Halloween after Halloween? Why not try a Fright Night nose mask from Bud and Bud Light? Here's Fat Face, Scary
Nose
Witch,
mask.
Mr. Pumpkin, and Big Black Cat.
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
P.S. I want other, like, because that's the thing. A lot of gimmicks around Halloween are aimed at kids. Like, but this is a Bud Light. Like, they're saying, hey, you an adult, put this mask on your face.
Do it. Be a pumpkin. You won't.
Like.
Best of all, these amazing masks are available where Bud and Bud Light are sold.
Amazing.
Oh, next time.
And it's just cardboard. It's not even like something. Because, you know, back in the day when you get the sheet masks that were like, essentially they were giant temporary tattoos.
Yeah.
You put it on your face and it would be like a giant temporary tattoo and you peel off in the morning or whatever.
It's like one of those sleep masks.
And this isn't even that. They're like sliding it in between the Bud Light. They're like, hey, pop this out of the case and put it in front of your face like this gentleman here.
Like over your makeup.
How could he see? Is this a pen? It's got to be a pen commercial.
Yeah.
Dear Dick,
Called
you're probably not going to believe this, but
I got out.
Only 19 cents. Okay. What were the circumstances that led to Frankenstein's monster being trapped in ice in apparently a subterranean frozen castle in which he was also allowed to maintain hold of a big pen?
Just one. And a piece of paper somewhere in there, too.
Where's the novelization of this commercial?
McDonald's has a monster of an idea. Happy Halloween certificates. A book of 10 is only $1. Your gang can turn them in for free dessert treats like cones and sample-size sundaes at McDonald's. Each book also comes with a mail-in certificate for this free Roger Rabbit when you buy your video cassette of the smash hit Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I've never seen that.
Not a kid's movie. It was marketed towards kids. I can tell you, I watched it. That Robert Zemeckis animated live-action hybrid movie does not feel appropriate for children.
Did you get a boner for Jessica Rabbit?
No, and that's the thing. I don't get horned up on cartoons, but it did feel like, as I watched it, when, you know, she's pressing her tits up against Bob Hoskins and getting all horned up about shit, and I go...
Not appropriate.
I like, you didn't sink in like this was a sex thing. I just go, this is weird, and I don't know why. And then they doubled in on that when Bob Hoskins is like, so you're with Roger Rabbit. You, a huge-titted human woman, essentially, is married to an anthropomorphic rabbit?
Oh, I've never seen it, so that's weird, yeah.
McDonald's Happy Halloween certificates. A deal so good, it's eerie.
It's the curse.
Cast a spell.
Curse of the
I only meant a
wolf.
little
mischief. I didn't mean to kill anything.
Cast a shadow.
Really,
I wanted a little mischief and several people ended up dead.
It'd be funny if he was a witch.
Cast out.
The power in me is too strong.
Tales from the dark side.
Magic.
It is contaminated with evil.
Magic that works.
Magic the
Gathering.
If you believe it. Tales from the dark side. 10 o'clock on Denver's Television 2, Saturday.
Tales from the Dark Side has some good shit.
This Halloween, party with your favorite monster.
Spuds McKenzie.
Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, Florida. And
I have yet to go to one of those. And they are one of the only theme parks who's like dedicated to not fucking up Halloween by making it Nightmare Before Christmas.
right now, carve out savings of up to $16 off admission. With this special coupon you'll find on 2 liters of Pepsi. For details,
2
visit a
liters?
Pepsi display near you. Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. Hurry to Ticketmaster today for advance tickets, while you can still slash the price.
We were telling ghost stories in the Fun Fruits jungle.
This is the Laughing Trees that we made a wine based off of this very thing because it tasted a lot like it.
The coffin opens and the skeletons scare the alien. Skeleton! And that's how we discovered new Fun Fruit Spooky Fruit with skulls, ghosts, and monsters. And Fun Fruit Space Shapes with...
But yeah, spoiler alert, that's how these kids found basically everything they ever found out. They're always fucking around near the fruit snack trees that laugh at the end of every commercial, and they learn about jets and sharks and animals and unicorns and space.
Everything you can make into a fruit snack.
Yeah, all through fruit snacks. Imagine having a 100% fruit snack-based education.
aliens, astronauts, and spaceships. New fruit snacks from Sunkissed Fun Foods.
Give me 5.
New Fun Fruit Space Shapes and Spooky Fruit.
I always that rings in my head to this day.
Spooky
From the
fruit.
master of suspense.
Perfect way to describe Cyrex.
Hey, you talking about Blind Billy?
Silver Bullet. Halloween night at 8
Classic Gary Busey reference that you're missing.
on Movie 32.
It's Gary Busey and a kid in a wheelchair that fights a werewolf.
Oh, Gary
Halloween. A time for children. Parties.
Bud Light masks.
Good times.
Bad times.
That's a good times
was a
roll.
special time. Until he came back for more.
I told you this isn't a man.
Monday, October 21st at 8. TV 50 presents the broadcast television premiere of Halloween 2. Michael's back, and there's no place to hide.
Catsup.
What is going on?
She needs a Kleenex.
What could this possibly be a commercial for?
Some kind of cleaning product.
No way.
You must believe me, Count. I didn't know. I did not know.
Spaghetti sauce? Spaghetti sauce or barbecue sauce?
Yeah. Hot sauce.
Let the servants do the shopping.
People tend to see red when you serve up anything but what is tomato sauce.
There you
because
go.
what is never
Tomato sauce.
What is tomato sauce?
Commercial for stairs.
I mean, P.S. Have you never seen a movie with a vampire in it? If they try to eat normal food, they puke. It happens when you're possessed by a demon as well.
Yeah.
Commercial for stairs.
Tomatoes, twice the taste and twice as good. Because
Tomatoes, vampire in your life.
Oh, she's dead. And the commercials are dead.
Pop in this cassette. Oh, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be the sounds of the department store, which is in my playlist and I recommend, but not now.
Not today.
Not today, Satan. All right, that's it, guys. We saw all the Halloween commercials I had left, so now I'm going to have to find more when Halloween rolls around again.
Yeah.
That being said, thank you for showing up and interacting with us. I hope you enjoyed that, because I know I did. Every time I see Halloween, it bolsters my spirits, ghosts, ghouls, bad acting,
weird
fucking
masks,
widow's peaks that meet between your eyebrows. I love it all.
The scoop for the pumpkin guts.
The ineffectual scoop and the D-cell pumpkin lights that are like basically the size and shape of boat anchors. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for showing up. We will see you in a couple of days for the true crime thing we usually do on Friday. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I usually don't until the day of because there are so many to choose from. It's just going to depend on how I feel. So hopefully we can see you then, D-cells. Hopefully we can see you then on another episode. And I'll get these batteries replaced. We didn't do any trivia tonight. I'll find more. We'll do more. But until then, I ain't got shit left. So we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.